There is a record amount of store closures that are taking place not just in the United States, but we are seeing it all around the world. I'm going to get into this. I'm also going to cover some other economic factors here that plainly, simply are not discussed in the mainstream media. At least the public is not being made aware of this. They believe that everything is just fine when we need to understand the trends that are appearing here show us that weakness that is underlying this economy. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Let's begin by taking a look at this. In 2018, there were 5,500 store closure announcements in the US, which was down more than 30% from a record 8,000 closures announced in 2017. But that didn't slow down because already now today, we are seeing more store closures on pace to beat perhaps what we saw in 2017. It all depends on what's happening here, but it doesn't matter. Whether it's 5,000, whether it's 8,000 or 10,000, the trend is in, and that is not very friendly to the people who work at the stores, to the people who rely on that income. As I mentioned, it's not just in the US. We are seeing this in the UK. We are seeing this in Canada, as I'll show you, other places as well. Out of the BBC, Paperchase proposes store closures to cut costs. Several prominent store closures in Canada this month. That happens to be January's data, but it doesn't matter. What we are seeing is the very big retailers. We're not talking about stores that every city has them. There's a plaza at the end of the street, and that store is changing every 3 months. There's a new store in that location. It seems to be a curse. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about big brand names. They're closing down, and it happens to be pervasive. We look at this in different countries. We look at it in different cities. We see that this is a trend. There's no way to deny it, and that's really something that I find to be odd when those out there refuse to admit that the economy is looking weak. And this is one of the reasons, the primary reason, if you ask me, why we are seeing this happening over and over again. Gap, Victoria's Secret, and even Tesla, 4,300 store closures already announced this year. But don't worry, economy's doing just fine. General Electric shares slump after CEO Culp warns on industrial free cash flow. Their stock moved down considerably. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, everybody was saying that this is going to be the best investment because the stock has done so terribly. Now's the time to pour your money in. I was seeing all kinds of articles related to this, even comments associated with it, how people were just loving this stock, thinking it's the greatest thing. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I just found it really, really funny that this has really flip-flopped in just a short period of time. Bill Gross sees much less alpha in era of QE and quant trading. I wanted to note this, that he is retired now, but a lot of people like to point fingers at him and suggest he's not good, he's washed up, this and that. I've seen so many articles and so many people talking garbage about him. However, he did outperform 96% of his peers. I'd say that's a pretty good track record. And basically what he said is that because of the computer algorithms, that everything today is screwed up. Nothing makes sense. Not that he can't beat them. Okay, that's half of it. But the computer algorithms have screwed everything up. And we are in for a world of hurt during this next crisis. Nobody has any idea what's going to happen. Literally. I mean, just look at what happened from October. That was nothing, literally nothing in what we will see, because there wasn't even an actual trigger event that made that all take place. Think about that for a second. No trigger event. There was no Lehman event that took place. So just imagine what's going to happen. And then we have this. I just wanted to show you it as an example. New home sales, prior versus revised. So when you go to your newspaper, your television, your news articles, you see this report. It gets put out there. Jobs numbers, new housing, construction, manufacturing. That's the blue line, as you'll see here. But then it gets revised. And then it's revised down every single time. But you don't hear those revisions. You're never going to hear about that in the mainstream media. It's ridiculous. ridiculous. It is truly ridiculous when people are so swindled by this false narrative that has been put in front of their face. And unfortunately, a lot of people are going to be burned. And the people I actually care about, those with their pension funds who didn't have anything to do with this, they're going to suffer the most. If you found this video informative, please give me the like on this video. It means a lot to me to help to support the channel. I do appreciate it. If you want the financial education that was not taught to you in school, well then, these two books have everything from A to Z. It'll bring you from zero to hero. We're looking at the foundation, the history, the asset classes, how to make money, reduce your debt, everything you need to know. Check them out at the link in the description if you want the audiobook that's available at themoneygps.com. If you want to find out about retail store closures in the United States, then watch this video. I break it all down for you. Check it out and I will see you there.